Hi. Okay. So I decided to do 90s flashback again because it was so good last week. Alright. And also, I saw an interview yesterday that made me think of the 90s. So, okay. The interview I saw was of Alan Locker, the locker room. And Locker is spelled Locher. Um, So he had on Crystal Chappelle from One Life to Live, Bold and the Beautiful, basically soaps, and Michael Sabatino, also from soaps, and he's done other stuff too. And Crystal has done other stuff too. Um, about how they met and their real life husband and wife. They've been together 26 years. So they met before they both auditioned for Days of Our Lives. And anyway, so it got me thinking that a lot of my childhood was sadly in front of the TV. Um, I think for two reasons actually. When I when it was found out I had cerebral palsy, since the age of 2, um, I don't think my mother knew how to cope with it, honestly. And so, um, she put me in front of the TV as like a babysitter. So I used to come home from school and be sat in front of the TV and watch soap operas from three and four, like 3 p.m. to 4, and then I watched Oprah. Yes, I watched Oprah. But yeah. And so I got really familiar with whatever soaps was on ABC. Um, I did not know they had soaps on CBS and all the other networks. I didn't know. Um, all right. So Crystal Chappelle came in my life as Maggie Carpenter on One Life to Live. Although I didn't know that was her name, her character's name. I knew her by the way she looked. Back in the day, she had dark hair. Sometimes it was long, sometimes it was short, but I remember it kind of medium long. And apparently her character's name was Maggie. All I knew was that she was always on the soap opera. Finding out now, she switched around to all of the soap operas. Basically, I mean, she was on Santa Barbara, which is whoa back in the day. I don't even remember it really. Days of Our Lives, of course. But honestly, I remember Days of Our Lives a little bit because of Allison Sweeney. Because when she started, she was a teenager, so I remember that. And I remember Sammy and Austin, I think it was. Anyway. Um, yeah. And then, so that's how I remember Crystal Chappelle. Well, now she's got online soaps, Beacon Hill, and something else. Um, but it's all online, and she writes it, produces it, directs it, everything. And basically, what she does is, I think the way you're supposed to do things, you go with your friends, you do a lot of stuff with your friends, and your friends will come through for you like no one else will. So, um, all right. Anyway, okay. Getting back to 90s. Yeah, the 90s was a big decade for me because I was kind of figuring out who I was in the 90s. So, as far as the disability and everything, because like most kids, I had, dreams and stuff, and I'm gonna be a astronaut or whatever, you know what I mean? So my thing was I was gonna be a gymnast first because I had seen all the gymnastic teams, and I liked the way they flipped and did the triple flips and the things but I didn't understand at that age that after you do the triple flip you're supposed to land on your feet, not your head. Well, with a disability you kind of land on your head because you have no balance. And if you have balance, it's a very small amount compared to most people. So, yeah. So I thought I was going to be a gymnast, and I was going to be a reporter, a journalist. First, I thought I was going to be a journalist. Then I thought I was going to be a reporter, like a newspaper reporter. And then I thought I was going to teach English, actually. Because in high school, I had a teacher, English teacher, which made me love the subject even more than I usually did, because he took things and he took the lessons and he broke them down and to where anybody could understand it, but he made it fun also. So, yeah, so the 90s was huge. So, I started watching stuff on TV for myself, and basically the teen soap or the teen genre was built in the 90s, probably before then, but mostly in the 90s that I remember. Now, granted, I have to put a disclaimer on it. I did not watch these things in their normal run, meaning that I got to things late. That is my my mantra for life. I get to things late. Everyone's talking about X. I don't know about X for 2 years. Everyone's talking about whatever movie. I don't see it until it's been out of the theaters and on DVD or something. That's me. So, the only soap or show I've ever watched like all the way through the first run was probably Dawson's Creek, with James Vanderbeek and Katie Holmes and Joshua Jackson and everybody. And the thing was is that they the thing is, okay, they were all teenager-ish ages doing a teen soap. So it was more realistic. The only part that wasn't realistic, honestly, for me, was, well, I could have bought it maybe, but they talked like they were adults at 15 years old. So, you know, but yeah, I love it because like I said before in the previous video, in high school, I was in no way the popular girl. I wasn't a cheerleader. I was into sports, but they wouldn't let me do high school sports because of liability issues. So I didn't get friends that way. I got friends the old fashioned way, knowing me for my entire life pretty much, and liking me or not liking me based on that fact alone. So, um, and it wasn't cool to be smart. It wasn't cool to be a nerd. Now it's cool. It wasn't cool back then. And not everyone was Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or, whatever. So, yeah, that's a little bit of my history. A little bit. And a little bit of a 90s flashback. So, hope you guys enjoy.